All right, guys, we're gonna be talking about one of the big mistakes that a lot of beginners make in jiu-jitsu, particularly for the guard position, is not understanding distance management and how to engage from a guard position, okay? So one of the things that I see a lot is my partner's gonna be standing up in front of me, just stand up. My partner's gonna be standing up in front of me, and what you're gonna see here is that he's a little far from me, right? So what happens a lot is a beginner, people who don't necessarily understand the distance part, will start reaching to try to make contact with your partner, okay? So I want you to understand a concept real quick. If the goal of guard retention, or rather, the goal of a guard pass is to get chest on chest, then would it make more sense for me to be here or out, okay? So just as a rule, if I'm playing the bottom position, I wanna have my knees up high to my chest. If my training partner is giving me enough space to sit up, then I can sit up, clear a little bit more space if I'm not comfortable, or if he's so far back, then I can just sit up here, okay? And then from here, I've got a lot more mobility to play from a seated guard position as opposed to a supine position here, where I'm on my back, okay? So again, don't reach. If your partner's far, then you can sit up, or you can wait for him to engage, okay? Now, the other thing here from a standing position is understanding kind of the demarcation line of my partner's feet, all right? So when I engage here, I want to make sure that I'm not passing the lines of his toes, and I start off by getting myself lower to his feet so that I can start passing from this position, okay? Once I start getting towards the line of his toes, it makes it easier for him to start reaching in and hooking my leg, or even going into a foot on my hip here, which technically he's again extending his legs, but you get the idea, okay? If I'm far enough away and he sits back up, and he tries to sit up, then I can start getting a little bit closer to start working various passes. But I don't want to be so far away, that he's able to sit up, and now I'm unable to engage on my terms, okay? The other thing to note here is, again, the demarcation line of his feet is I don't want to be hanging out in this situation, okay? I don't want to be so close to his toes that he can start hooking his leg onto my ankle, okay? Because then I got to start dealing with this guard. So instead, what I want to do is I want to start working from out here and then get him to move so that I can find my entries towards the insides of his legs, okay? So the big thing that you got to understand, especially from a guard playing position or even a guard passing position, is that there's this distance, right? In that middle area where you're not too close and not too far, where you want to kind of operate in. So that way you can engage on your terms, make your grips, and not have to worry so much about getting into somebody's guard right off the bat. So the second part to this video is going to be more guard focused. I'm going to talk more specifically about how to engage from the guard position when my partner's standing, okay? So again, knees come up to my chest. Now the rules in jiu-jitsu basically say that this guy has to engage on me, right? So if we're in a jiu-jitsu match, the onus is not on me to engage this person. He has to engage me. So essentially what I'm doing by keeping my knees close to my chest is, one, I'm protecting this area of my body, but also two, I'm making him have to come closer, okay? Now when he comes closer, I'm gonna be focusing on one of three things. Either his feet, his hands, or his head, collars in this case, whichever comes first, okay? So my knees come up, tight to my chest, he starts coming closer to me. Right now he's giving me his ankle, okay? So I can hook or grab the ankle, and now I can start playing my guard, okay? If we're here in this position, he starts coming close, but he leads with his hands. If he leads with his hands, then I make grips on his hands, and I can start working from like a spider guard position here. If he's hiding his legs and his hands, then what he's gonna have to do to establish contact is he has to get his chest lower, okay? So as he gets his chest lower here, right, he has to keep on, again, what I don't wanna do here is I don't wanna start reaching for my partner, okay? I'm letting him come to me. If he's too far, then I can come up and make my collar grip and then start attacking from this position. But as he gets closer, he starts to offer me something, right? He gets a little closer, I can make my grip on the collar, all right? He tries to reach with his hands, I make my grips on the hands. He gives me neither the hands or the collar. He walks up close and gets his feet close. Now I have control of the ankle. And depending on what I'm offered is the guard that I'm gonna try to play. So in this case here, I'm usually working from like a tripod position. If he staggers his leg, he staggers his leg, we'll go De La Riva, and this hand is just waiting for whatever grip that I can get, okay? Same idea is if he comes and offers me his hands, I don't like spider guard, but I'll start off here, and then I'll work into a position that I do like, use that transition to get to X guard or single leg X. You get the idea, okay? If he offers me his collar, that I reach, pull him forward, and then I'm kind of working from this kind of open guard where I've got hand on the ankle, collar grip. Get into my De La Riva, and then because I'd rather play X guard, go right into a single leg X or an X guard position. So I hope that helps give you guys insight on how to engage from the bottom closed guard, bottom open guard position. Again, the big mistake that people make, especially in this position, is exposing their chest and letting their legs go too far out from their core. Okay, you have to remember that in jiu-jitsu, especially, the rules favor the guard player. You have to engage the person on the ground. In most formats, you have to engage the person on the ground. You don't have to engage the person on top. So that should give you perspective and more insight on how to engage from the bottom position. And remember, it's up to the guy on top to approach you. So if you like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe to this channel. Let your friends know, use this on your friends. Yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you soon.